Born to Boogie, Rich Briner. Rich Briner, born to Boogie. Start my clock. Okay.
You are on an ocean cruise in the Caribbean. Walking ahead of you in the passageway is a tiny woman in a brown polyester suit. Her shoulders are hunched and her white hair is cut in a bob. Over the ship's intercom comes a familiar tune. Bump, 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 bump. Staying Alive. John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. Suddenly, something wonderful happens right in front of you. The woman, unaware that you are behind her, starts to boogie. Snaps her fingers, slides back and forth, and then as she approaches the dining salon doorway, she pauses, reassembles her dignity, and walks soberly through. Just for a moment, she thought nobody was watching, and she boogied. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and honorable judges, as kids, as adults, we are very much like that woman. If we think somebody's watching, we're timid, cautious, inhibited, compared to the way we were as kids, frolicking, carefree, alive. My purpose today, ladies and gentlemen, is to help us to boogie, to encourage us, to let that little child within us out to play, because we're all born to boogie. Now, if it's so much fun, why do we hesitate? I asked my class recently, how many here can sing? In a class of 20, one person raised their hand. I said, wait a minute, I didn't say how many can sing well. If you were 6 years old, if we were 6 years old and we asked that, and you were asked that question, you would raise your hand because you can sing. We all can sing. Let's do it right now to the Mickey Mouse Club thing. Who's the leader of the club that's made for you and me? Ready? Go.
Who's the leader of the club that's made for you and me? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
Good job. It didn't go so well for me in class. One of the students shot back, hey, Rich, you can't carry a tune. That's right. But just because I can't carry a tune doesn't mean I shouldn't sing a song. Just because I'm not John Travolta doesn't mean I can't dance. We've got to sing like we don't need the money. Dance like nobody's watching. And let that kid within us out to play, because we're all born to boogie. Now, what happens if somebody is watching? That happened to me. It's 12 years ago. I was at the Chicago Improv Theater. That's a place where they invite people up on stage and ask them to improvise. I was invited on stage with 3 other strange men. Let me rephrase that. With 3 other men who happened to be strangers to me. The lights went down. The director gathered us in a huddle, and he said, "You've been adrift in the South Seas for a week in this small boat. Now go for it." He was gone. In the dark, we were muttering and wondering, what are we gonna say? Suddenly, poof, the spotlight comes on in front of 120 people. We start to improvise dialogue, and it's going pretty well for a little while. But then all of a sudden, there's a lull in the conversation. The guy in the front of the room turns to me and he says, "Sing something." I flash back to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, starring Kirk Douglas, and I sang, "Got a whale of a tale to tell you, lads, a whale of a tale or two, by the flapping fish and the girls I love. On nights like this, with the moon above, a whale of a tale, and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo." The audience was stunned, but they applauded. Was I amateurish? Was I off key? But did they enjoy it? Yes. Why? The kid in them applauded the kid in me. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all like that woman in the passageway. We show the grown-up part as we enter the dining salons of life. But inside, we are still the singing and the dancing and the laughing kids we've always been. And when we hear bump, 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 and we're alone, bump, bump, we boogie. And when we're not alone, who cares if we can't carry a tune? Who cares if we're not John Travolta? Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this. Like my students in class, like you here doing Mickey Mouse, and like me at the Chicago Improv, we gotta sing like we don't need the money. Dance like nobody's watching. And let that little kid out to play. Because we're all born to boogie. Bump, 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 bump. Madam Toastmaster.
Good. All right, 6:20.
Very nice.
Okay.
That was great.
Well, thank you.
So true.
Didn't think you were listening. I'd have been nervous if somebody else.
Yeah, I started to give you all these plus signs and I couldn't keep up with them.
You know-
I think your gestures and facial expressions are great.
Oh, thank you.
And one of the things I think that I think it's the most passionate I've ever seen your face when you talk about the kid in me in that area. Why aren't we boogieing? You know, it's like you believe this. It's probably one of the things I've just really noticed about you in your speeches. This is you probably more passionate about this. You seem like it anyway.
Yes, it is. It's true. Yeah. At the end, when it hit me that maybe I should imitate the woman again because it's funnier.
Yeah. Well, it would be a good wrap up. It would be a good wrap up because I almost thought right at the end, oh shit, I forgot to turn this off.